Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another Think Walk. We are currently, let's see how much. We are currently 1,600 steps into our walk, so that's like almost halfway. And I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk a little bit about writing, since I seem to be so fond of it. Okay, another suggested topic, courtesy of Miss Kate Evans, is show, don't tell, referring specifically to writing. And I think it's cool because part of editing for me, in the editing process, is to convert tell to show. Let me explain. When you tell something, you give a list. Oh, the t-shirt was blue, tattered, and blah, blah, blah. Whereas when you show, you enter into the poetry of it all. You say how the t-shirt flows as if it had been rejected by the entire closet, yet still maintained its purpose as a shirt. That's a different way of saying a tattered blue t-shirt. You could also say that it happened to be blue. And I think for me I'm not gonna say that's the best writing. Let's say that's the writing I like the most, or at least what differentiates many of the writers that I enjoy from the pack. You know, the way they show us that world, the way they describe something unexpectedly. They use metaphors to say something typical in an atypical way. And if there was like a writing tip, then if there were 10 writing commandments, that would be one of them. Show, don't tell. Describe, don't list. Show us the scene, how it feels, how it flows, how it's alive, or how it's dead. Really go for that. One thing is to be really descriptive. And you can be really descriptive and still be telling. It's like the fangs where taka 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 taka. Instead of that, there's always a better way, more creative way, a more unique way of saying it, because guess what? Everyone says that everyone's unique, which is true. It's a true statement. Even though genetically things can repeat, that you might be walking down the street and you see basically your doppelganger. We are still immensely unique. And that means that you not only have one but two eyes, and sometimes no eyes, and sometimes one eye, sometimes blurred vision, that has a way to capture reality that is completely unique. Yes, we are impacted by what we read, what we watch, general consensus of humanity, but that perspective, that first player perspective, that point of view exists nowhere else. And using already existent language, already existent descriptions, just to make reference to that wonderful magic that is your reality, there's no reason to do that. Other writing tips that I can mention are sometimes you have to take away. For me, poetry, often, sometimes taking away a word or two is better than adding a word or two. Actually, often it is that way. I think the difference between an informative sentence and poetry or a song is taking out a bit. Because when you take that gap out, that's where other things shine through. But going back to show, don't tell. uh, when you have to tell something, and you go like blah, and just a statement, sometimes it has its purpose. But when you show something, that's when someone is on a page and they're not on the page. They're actually far away from that page and they're actually traveling in your mind. Giving a laundry list, that's a good way. Consider it a laundry list. On one occasion, you can say a laundry list, what detergent you used, what water temperature you used. And on another occasion, you can describe the entire experience of washing clothes and how water combined with other elements, some man-made, some from nature, to bring back the brilliance of clothes. It's not the best example because I'm not sitting down writing, I'm actually walking and seeing a big group of about 15 ducks, not in a row. But yeah, sometimes you need a character that is deadpan, straightforward, that says things like a statement. But rarely is everyone you know that way. And I think that's where a character shines through. A character's personality, if you take two characters, they both list the same thing, the same scene, they might have a lot of points in common, but if they describe it, if they show you it, how it feels, how it smells, how it tastes, or focusing on one and the other, maybe one character is a lot more about aromas and the other character is a lot more about visuals and another character is more about sounds. Just focusing on a different sense. You can have the same scene described three completely different ways, not only because of the experience, the unique experience of every person, but because of what they emphasize, because they show, what they focus on, how they define life. Showing is all about how we define life and what's important to us, and how a solitary tree can be a giant in the field. And it's also the difference between using similes and using metaphors. Simile is when you say, oh, this is like that. And you basically tell someone and do it paint by numbers. And a metaphor demands more of your reader, more engagement of your reader, a lot more engagement from the writer as well. But it does ask more from the reader. What does it mean for there to be a giant in a field whose limbs are hanging because, good morning, whose limbs are hanging because it has no other will to pick itself up, rather than the tree was like, and then saying that. You see how much saying the tree is like, how much it takes away from that? There's sneakier ways and more impressive ways and more interesting ways of giving a description. And life has way too much poetry to not do it justice. So yeah, show, don't tell. Show me what you're seeing. Show me what you're feeling. Don't just tell me. Don't just tell your reader. Don't give us a list. Anyone can do a list. Not everyone can make a poem. Not everyone can truly transport us from one place to another via the teleportation device known as a book. So, I don't know. That's my take on it. What's your take on it? And what's your take on these think walks? I'm gonna be posting this on the blog, to get more feedback and maybe see if there's anything else you'd like me to waffle on about. But for now, I still got some walking to do, but we can always share some peace, love, and maki rolls. Cheers.